Without objection, the gentleman is recognized for 1 minute.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I rise today to commemorate and honor Robert Skanke and Hunter Bennett, who tragically lost their lives in a helicopter crash last Wednesday. After responding to a domestic violence call in Flagstaff, law enforcement officers engaged in a nearly 2-hour gunfight with a dangerous criminal. During the pursuit, the Arizona Department of Public Safety provided air support with a Ranger 56 helicopter crew. Shortly after the suspect was apprehended, the helicopter crashed, taking the lives of Marine veteran Robert Skanke and trooper paramedic Hunter Bennett. On behalf of all Arizonans, we mourn the loss of these two heroes who dedicated their lives to public service. Words cannot fully express our gratitude for their selflessness, courage, and commitment to keeping our community safe. May the Lord bless their families, friends, and colleagues during this difficult time and grant them everlasting peace. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I yield.
Gentleman yields. For what purpose does the gentleman from Missouri seek recognition? Without objection, the gentleman is recognized for 1 minute.
Mr. Speaker, each month I recognize a St. Louis All-Star, someone who represents the very best of our city. During Black History Month, I've been highlighting Black leaders who helped shape St. Louis and expand opportunity for everyone. But this week is bigger than one name, because long before the great Bill Clay was elected to Congress, Black Missourians were fighting through poll taxes, literacy tests, and intimidation just to cast a ballot. They were told their voices didn't matter. They organized anyway. Countless leaders pushed from the streets, as well as leaders like our beloved Frankie Muse Freeman, who fought in the courts. And when I see new efforts to make voting more restrictive, more complicated, more conditional, I'm reminded why their work matters. Black History Month isn't just about remembrance, it's about vigilance. I stand here because they fought to open the door, and I won't let anyone quietly close it. I yield back.
The gentleman yields. For what purpose does the gentleman from Rhode Island seek recognition? Without objection, the gentleman is recognized for 1 minute.
Mr. Speaker, Trump unleashed chaos and cruelty on our cities. His ICE and Border Patrol agents are out of control. Mass federal agents are terrorizing our communities. They've killed 2 Americans, exercising their First Amendment rights, and have killed others. They're targeting people based on their skin color. Instead of demanding accountability, Republicans are rushing to give more money to ICE and CBP. This is reckless, it is dangerous, and it must stop. Not another taxpayer penny should go to CBP or ICE until guardrails are in place to protect civil liberties, prevent abuse, and hold officers accountable for breaking the law. Americans do not want these agents roaming their streets. And they're done paying for government-sanctioned terror masquerading as public safety. It is not immigration enforcement. This failure starts at the top. Kristi Noem must go. She must be removed.
Gentleman's time has expired.
I'm demanding accountability and moral leadership. Our democracy depends on it. I yield back.
Gentleman yields. For what purpose does the gentlewoman from California seek recognition? Without objection, the gentlewoman is recognized for 1 minute.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I rise today to honor a son of Oakland, California, my constituent, Ryan Coogler, whose film Sinners has earned 16 Academy Award nominations, the most of any film in Oscar history. Ryan Coogler was born in Oakland, California, raised in Richmond, and educated at St. Mary's in Berkeley. And he first came to national attention by putting a human face on the murder of Oscar Grant. He is the youngest director to helm a billion-dollar film, and now with Sinners, he has given the world the work of prophetic semina. Sinners deploys the imagery of Southern Gothic horror to excavate the truths this republic has long preferred to bury. Vampirism became a metaphor in the film to uplift systems that fed on Black life and body and spirit since the founding of this country. It is the full humanity that he lifts up in this movie, the humanity of Black folks building community and clamoring and claiming joy under apartheid conditions. Alongside Ryan Coogler, our district celebrates Oaklanders, Delroy Lindo and Raphael Sadiq for their nominations. 3 Oakland artists, 1 film. Ryan Coogler, we are so very proud of you. And I'll yield back.
The gentlewoman yields. For what purpose does the gentleman from New Jersey seek recognition?
I request unanimous consent to address the House for 1 minute and to revise and extend my remarks.
Without objection, the gentleman is recognized for 1 minute.
Mr. Speaker, I have said for months that no one is safe in Trump's America. From New Jersey to Minnesota, mothers, fathers, children, no one is safe. We've seen people like Greg Bovino and his masked paramilitaries come into our communities and cause an immense amount of harm. We've seen 5-year-olds come home from school only to be detained, then sent to Dilley, Texas, then to be returned and see the administration try to end their asylum claim. This is what people are experiencing across the country, and we need everyone to speak out against it, not just in Minnesota, not just in New Jersey, and not just Democrats, but Republicans as well. This is not who we are as a country, and we cannot be silent in this moment.
Gentleman yields. Under the Speaker's announced policy of January 3rd, 2025, the gentleman from Wisconsin, Mr. Grothman, is recognized for 60 minutes as the designee of the Majority Leader.
Thank you. First of all, I'll assure the chair that I will not be speaking for 60 minutes. I'll be kind of amazed if I get to 25. But okay, we now go on a work period back in the district for a little over a week. And I think there's certain topics that haven't been talked about enough in this chamber, and hopefully they'll be talked about a little bit more when we return. The first anecdote, which is symptomatic of huge problems for America, I would argue the greatest immediate concern for America, is shown by an incident that happened in Minneapolis. A little while ago, an ICE agent doing his job had his finger bitten off by one of these radical protesters who seemed to have descended in Minneapolis. What happened afterwards, though, as horrific as that is, was even worse. First of all, you would think if you bit off somebody's finger, you would be in a lot of trouble with the law. And Minneapolis is in some place called Hennepin County, and you would have felt the Hennepin County law enforcement and district attorney would have dealt very seriously with the person who bit off the finger of an ICE agent. In fact, Minneapolis, which is kind of like, I guess, New York West or Los Angeles East, they did not see anything worth prosecuting when you bite off the finger of an ICE agent. So then we went to the federal law enforcement, and they convened a grand jury to indict the person who bit off a finger of an ICE agent, which you would think would be relatively automatic. Nobody argued that this person didn't bite off the finger of an ICE agent, which, by the way, will not be able to be sewn back on. But instead, when they brought it before a grand jury, which was somewhere between 16 and 22 people, they would not indict. They were, in fact, hostile to the ICE agent and wondered what he was doing in Minnesota. So the person who bit off the finger of an ICE agent will not suffer any penalty at all that we can determine. Now, this is not only an incredible injustice to the ICE agent who lost his finger, it is a danger sign for America. Every country has immigration laws. When I talk to people in my district, even people who think we ought to let more people in this country, they don't think we should have no immigration laws.